Kanye West just dropped an album that sounds incredible. But don't get your hopes up just yet, because this is not the comeback that we've been waiting on. Let's talk about it.
The STEM Society.
What's up, y'all? My name is Cole Jackson. This is the STEM Society. Welcome back. This is your weekly album check-in. I don't want to waste you guys' time with any babble. Let's jump right into this review. Kanye West dropped his newest album, Bully. 18 tracks, 42 minutes long. This is his 12th studio album. I came into this with very low expectations. I mean, the bar was set to hell when I heard about this album actually releasing. Kanye West told us a lot about what he wanted to do, which was lean into AI. He wanted to give us AI voices, AI production. And I thought we were going to get a lot of techno babble and a lot of bullshit. Just going to be real with y'all. And I also haven't been feeling his route here recently with the last two albums of Vultures, especially Vultures 2. It's just been overproduced. It's been a lot of white noise. The rapping hasn't been hitting the mark. It's just been a lot of bullshit that's coming from him here recently. And then I actually listened to the album. And the album has a great approach from Kanye. He decided to go simple, strip down beats, which sounds more industrial than anything else. Basic rhymes. He doesn't have a lot of overbloated soliloquies. He's not hitting us with these crazy punchlines. It's basic, it's to the point, and I like that. He also gave us short songs. There's nothing over 3 minutes and 6 seconds on this album. So his approach to this album really intrigued me. And when I listened to the first 3 songs, it hooked me automatically. I think the typical Kanye West fan was going to look for Vultures 3. I think the typical Kanye West fan was waiting for him to give us this over-bloated ego stuff that he has been doing for the last 2 albums. But I'm pleasantly surprised to get what we got from this. Let's go ahead and talk about the biggest issue with this album first. Let's get this out of the way. Kanye West is on the back half of his career when it comes to rapping. And you can hear it in the cadence. You can hear it in the style of rap that he's doing. You can hear how monotone he is. He doesn't even sound confident half of the time throughout the album. There's spots of it here and there, but when you think about it, this album doesn't say a lot. It's certain songs on here that gives you great themes, but outside of that, Kanye West and rapping should not go together anymore. And bigger proof of that is Quentin Miller wrote a lot of the songs on here for him. And for a lot of people on the other side of this, they're probably rolling their eyes when I say Quentin Miller. But when you think about it, he's probably a mid to probably higher tier writer than a lot of other writers that's out there in hip hop. His pen game ain't the best, but it sure is not trash. You get what I'm saying? Quentin Miller has really put some good stuff out there. I know I'm caping for him right now, but I'm trying to make a point. When you have a person like Quentin Miller writing a lot of the music for you, you should be able to give us some type of energy, some type of impact with the stuff that he's giving you. Let me give you a quick example of what Quentin Miller wrote, and you tell me if these songs hit for you or not. Preacher Man, this one here, and I Can't Wait. Those are the songs that Quentin Miller wrote. To me, those are some of the weaker songs on there, not because of the writing, but because Kanye West doesn't give us the punch that we need to be able to push it over or to sell what he's trying to do with these songs. That's the biggest problem with this album. It's the rapping. And that's terrible that Kanye can't rap to the expectations that we have for him. And I think a lot of people on the other side of this camera won't admit it, but it's the truth. The rapping side of Kanye is what's holding this album down. It's the anchor to this album, and that's my biggest issue with this. Let's move into the production side of things, and let's talk about what approach Kanye took to make the album sound good. Bully has a mixture of gritty, grungy sounding beats, great samples, like great soul samples. Then he has a mixture of synth, like a lot of synth noises in a lot of his songs as well. When I think about it, and when I've listened to this album, I felt like Kanye was pulling from different eras of himself. I actually made a list. When you listen to Punch Drunk or Whatever Works, that makes me feel like that's the college dropout version of Kanye West. Like the soul sample part that we all love so much. Then when you listen to songs like Highs and Lows and Bully, that put me in the Life of Pablo era. Like he was making those types of songs then, and it looks like he pulled from that. Then when you listen to songs like Father and King, it just sounds like he pulled from the Jesus is King era or the Christian era of Kanye West. To make it simple for a lot of people, that nigga just started playing the hits and he did what worked from other eras. And I know maybe other people don't look at it that way, but I'm telling you, that's what he did. You can't listen to certain songs and not think about other albums from Kanye West. It's there and it's very, very prominent on this album. I think with Kanye West trying to reintroduce himself to older fans and newer fans, I feel like he leans to what works to give us a easy listen or give us something to make us smile a little bit more than listening to those heavy bass and choir driven songs that he was doing on Vultures. People don't want to say this, but it's the God honest truth. Kanye West lost his mind on Vultures, and not in a good way. He got so free with his creativity that he didn't think about the listener and how we felt when it came to what we wanted to hear from him. But when you think about this, the Bully album, he most definitely had the listener in mind because one, he's coming back from having so much trauma going on in his life when he did these Twitter rants, and now he's making up for it. And this is completely my opinion, but I just think he made this so easy and simple for us to listen to that he needed us to give him a hug or bring him back into the fold as a fan. And for me, I'm not going to say I'm a huge fan again, but I enjoy this music 110%. We are so used to albums sounding like playlists in 2026. When we hear something that is a complete thought, we go crazy. This is a complete thought. The raps might not feel that way, but the way this album is sequenced, it feels exactly like it's a complete thought. And I have to give Kanye credit for that too. Like nobody's really doing that anymore. They don't take pride into making things an album. And I love the fact that he's one of the OGs now that still feels like we need to hear a full and complete story. Again, all of the raps on there don't necessarily help, but if you're listening to sound quality wise, sonically, everything works. So I have to give him credit for having a very cohesive album, and it's paced very well, and it's just real. It feels really good to listen to something like that. I want to get into some of the bright spots on this album, what made me enjoy the listen. Let's start with Punch Drunk. This Clark Sisters sample that he got, fire. I could hear so many other artists on that sample or on that beat. It's ridiculous, man. I love that song. Clearly, it's because of the production only. I have no idea what that song is about, but listening to that beat and listening to Kanye do them sample chops on there just takes me back to College Dropout. Another standout moment on this album is listening to Mama's Favorite and hearing Kanye's mom at the end of the song. That hit me right there because it lets me know that Kanye is still grieving. He's still feeling the loss of his mom, and she's been gone for a while. But again, we haven't heard her on a song since Donda. And I think that was an emotional pull on purpose. Now, I don't know if it was strategic or not. You know what I'm saying? I'm being cynical when I say that because I know a lot of artists use tricks to be able to make us love them again or make us want to be a fan again. And I would hate to say that Kanye did that to just trick us into like having these emotions, but who knows? And finally, the song Bully. I think Bully is the best song on here because it sums up everything that nigga had been going through for the past 2 years. Really, the second verse on Bully is what I like the most. When a masterpiece turned into a catastrophe, they get mad at me for living out my fantasies. All the castles in the sky come down crashing every time I speak my mind. All the people swear my ego needs a repo, but I don't let go in denial of it all. Baby, tell me what it costs you to tell the truth. Not a lot of verses on this album hit, but that verse hit for me because it just feels like it summed up his last 2 years, bruh. Everything that nigga said on Twitter made anything that he built crash. It made everybody turn their back on him, and it really did make it feel like he was a fucking fuck up, and nobody knew where he was going with that. So for him to be able to rebuild himself through this album and this way, just feels a whole lot better, bro. And it just lets me know this nigga was on some other shit. Period, point blank. I want to step back for a second and look at a bigger picture and look at how things should go for in the next couple years for Kanye. Earlier, I mentioned that the rap side of Kanye is pretty much done, and you could tell by the way he's delivered a lot of the bars on here. I want to make a plea to Kanye right now to make this his last album of rapping. I don't want to hear him rap anymore. I think it's time for him to just let it go and be done with it. Reason being is because the production on here weighs so heavy on this album. Why can't you just turn into a full-time producer? Why can't you go into your Quincy Jones era right now? See, that's the thing that people aren't saying because they're scared he's going to offend him, but it's time. It's time for him to become Quincy Jones. It's time for him to make another star huge. I feel like, and this is completely my opinion, I feel like if Kanye West focused all of his skills on producing an artist, he can make a Thriller. No bullshit. I think that he is so good at this production thing, and he's so good at making magic happen with everything that he does when it comes to sitting behind that board. That nigga can make a Thriller. Period, point blank. I don't think there's any other producer that have the skill that he has. I don't think there's another producer that's as musically smart as he is. I don't think there's any other producer that has the ear that he has. So why not let the whole rapping side of yourself go after this tour is done and start leaning into your production bag? I think a lot of the world would appreciate it. I think the music industry would appreciate it. I would love to see what you could do with a younger artist, just giving them a chance and just fully executive producing their album. So now that I got that out of the way, where do I land on this album? Bully sounds great sonically, but the raps are so simple and it doesn't always hit to the level that you expect, especially when you have someone like Quentin Miller involved. The production is where Kanye West shines the best. I haven't heard an album this well produced all year, and he's leading the pack. This is one of the most genuine and raw albums I've heard from Kanye in a long time. So with all that being said, I'm going to give Bully an 8. Kanye had to reintroduce himself to all of us because of everything that went down with him on Twitter and his whole situation with the Jews. And he hasn't been putting out the best product when it comes to his albums. Vultures 2, trash. Vultures 1, it's all right. But Kanye hasn't given us an album that's been this genuine and this tight and this stripped down since 808 and Heartbreaks. And people hated 808 and Heartbreaks. When we get a situation where Kanye is going to approach an album the very bare minimum and in the most simple way he can, this is what we get. And it's way more appreciated than the bullshit that he's been putting out here recently. So what do you guys think? Do you think an 8 is too high for this album? Did you rank this album as one of his better albums? And where would you put this in his catalog? I want answers to all of those questions in the comment. Make sure you guys let me know. And if you like what I do, because what I do is not very easy, pay me in a like, pay me in a comment, but support me with a subscription. It'll help this channel grow bigger than the sun. Thank you guys for being so patient on waiting on this review. I appreciate y'all. I will catch you guys on Sunday. Take care of yourself. I love you. Peace out.
She just kind of fucking with my money, but I meant everything I said, and I say it again.